Well, it was supposed to rain today. I'm glad it doesn't look like it's going to rain now, but I was all ready to do a fairly lengthy video from the farm on a number of the horses I wanted to talk about. Obviously, a lot of people had said to me the other day, over the last 2 days, hey, you haven't said much about 3-Point Blue Chip. Well, obviously, I'm optimistic. You know, now, a small field usually means a slow half, which usually means a big last quarter. You know, what this horse can do in the last 3/8 of a mile, they all can in that race. So it's imperative, one, he comes in sharp. Jason and Amy said he trained fantastic yesterday at Goshen Raceway. It's important that he races as well as he can, but at the same time, as I said to one of our clients and a friend of mine this morning, if he goes out and races okay in the Breeders' Crown Elimination, he's still a good horse. He still hopefully could get in the Valley Victory, and if nothing else, this colt has all the tools, and you don't have to dream. This colt has all the tools to be a Grand Circuit type next year. So, looking past it, I'm not trying to lay the foundation of defeat, because I don't think we will. I think we will make the final. I think he'll do good. I hope he does. But to be very clear, he's a good horse regardless of what happens on Friday. You know, we took a horse with for the most part, 3-4 lifetime starts and put him in the Breeders' Crown. So it wasn't like we put him, it wasn't an optimal situation. We never spoke of Breeders' Crowns or stake races or anything other than qualifying until August. So just be happy. I'm super excited and super ecstatic with 3-Point Blue Chip. I couldn't be happier about what the last 2 years, you know, I talked about the growth of the stable. I talked about improvements we've made at the stable. But then to see what the stable has become over the last 2 years, it's talk turning into something tangible, right? And it's been really, really incredible. It's been quite a ride, and it certainly isn't going to be its culmination on Friday, but it will definitely be a peak in my career, in my life. And I'm wishing all the best for the 3-Point Blue Chip group, for James, Amy, Jason, everybody associated with the colt. He's a good horse. He's the horse we bought him to be. And if you don't think he is, go look at the sale prices of the other horses he's racing against also. There's no slouches in there. This is where horses that you pay a lot of money for, this is what they're supposed to look like and where they're supposed to race. Yes, I would rather have $285,000 on his card rather than 15, but we did it the right way. Right? I think if we had rushed him along and been in those races earlier on, he might have got chewed up. He might have soured on racing, and we wouldn't have the 3-Point Blue Chip we're all talking about, and quite frankly, some of us drooling over. I know I am right now. So, just trying to stay grounded heading into Friday. I don't want to end up with a broken heart and say, oh, he was 6th. He got the toughest division of 3 divisions in a very deep, deep pool of 2-year-olds. So, I didn't want to talk too much about him the last few days, but keep in mind, rest assured, there's lots of voices talking in my head when it comes to our boy 3-Point Blue Chip. Now, we had a new horse join our ranks yesterday. I told you guys, I did not want a he'd do horse, right? He'd do. I did not want that. I never want that horse. Yes, we had a budget. Yes, we had, I hope Mike goes another lap with this horse. He is good. I'm going to show you a horse I've been talking quietly about. I see him coming down the track. Sir Strong is out here right now. Mario's got a horse out here. But there's a horse I wanted to talk about. I told you guys I was going to highlight horses over the next week or so that I want to get cleaned up. This is a guy that should be cleaned up. For those of you out there in Ohio, I know you love your trotters. I know you stood behind us very, very strong this year, and I appreciate that. I think you're missing the boat here. This right here is Fear. I told you guys he was happy on the track. He wasn't like the other Fear the Dragon we had last year. He was cranky. Look at this guy. He's got his ears up playing, and he looks like a good horse. Looks like a nice horse, right? That's how a horse is supposed to look. A week after you break him, yeah, if you're lucky. So I was really, really happy with, I've been really, really happy. The way Real Fear looks, the way he acts is the thing that I like the most. The fact that, let me get this back on here. The fact that he's got his ears up and he's moving properly. He's not looking to act up, he's looking to do his work. I love that, and that's a good indicator from where I stand. That's a good indicator, especially, we only had a very small sample group. We won Fear of the Dragon last year, had tons of speed. This is a horse we paid into, Luck of the Dragon, we paid into the big race in Ohio, and he ended up, he wasn't able to make it. We didn't end up taking a horse there, but at the same time, this is a horse that was, that had our attention the entire time training down, a horse that we thought quite highly of the entire time training down, and still did right up until the point where he went, does he want to do his work? But even when we were training him, right? You just had to make them. Some horses are lazy and you just have to get at them and make them do the work. We've had lots of horses that were good horses that fit that criteria, but it's always something lingering in your mind. You're like, I really wish this horse had a better attitude. And that's indicative of the Dragon Again line sometimes, right? That's just the way it is. But when it comes to this guy, loves his work, sharp on the track, eats good, seems really healthy, just a good-looking horse that seems to do his work well. So I am going to push this year with a number of these horses. And Real Fear is a horse that, quite frankly, for a jurisdiction that just spent tons of money, we overspent, and you wanted more and more and more, and we got you a little bit more. I wasn't buying those other horses from. Going to bring you another horse here in a minute too. I wasn't buying those horses that were going for too much money. The he'd do's or the, maybe he's worth that. I don't want those horses. I want the horses that I know that horse right there is worth more than what we just paid for him. That's who I'm looking for. We got to do that yesterday with Nothing But a Dreamer, and a great story behind this horse. So this is the perfect type of horse. I looked at his pedigree and I'm like, oh wow, this is the same family as Baumhugger, right? Spellbound, Hanover, Marion Marauders in the second dam. In fact, I bid on Marion Marauders' brother, who's like the 16th foal or something. Partially, I did it to annoy my father, but a good-looking horse, nevertheless, at Lexington. I forget who he was by, but a good-looking horse. He went for $57,000, I believe, and I was out at like 35 or something. So I bid on that family. We had Baumhugger from that family. This was a good-looking horse on paper. So I just scrolled over. Now they have 2 videos on, and that's good. I like that. They had a walking video, which was cool. Especially if you have a walking video and you're a breeder out there, do it on pavement. Don't do it in the grass. People can't see their feet. What I'm looking for, what people are looking for, how do they stand? How do they stand when you walk them? How do they move? How do they enter and exit their gate? Just on the walk even. You can't do that in grass. So do it on pavement, or at least dirt, somewhere where it's flat and you can see the horses walk. My 2 cents. This horse here's walking video was nice. Now, I went to his field video. He was lame. There's no 2 ways to put it. Horse was off. Now, I went back and looked at the notes. He was a ridgeling. I know you're going to find value with ridgelings, which I don't understand. We just went through it with Gandalf the Black. He lost 0 time. For a horse, the time he missed would be equatable to a horse that had the virus. He had a week off. That's what he had. Now, Mario's got the hobbles on him out jogging. I wish he was out there with him now. He's not. But Mario has the hobbles on him jogging, so he missed 0 time. In fact, he's ahead of all the horses we got from Lexington, and we haven't even bought any from Harrisburg yet. So Gandalf the Black was bought as a ridgeling, fixed, broke, gated, and now has hobbles on. So for $1,582, you do the math when you're talking about what kind of discount you get for a ridgeling. And for those of you out there that know, when it says ridgeling, there's a lot of people just like, no, I don't want the torture, right? But there is no real torture at all. My God, Rosie's masterpiece got good. It got big. Looks like she ate another horse. That can't be Rosie's masterpiece. I know it is. I'm going to ask Mario when he comes back around. So, back to Nothing But a Dreamer. So, great family. Now, full disclosure, first dam, 0 for 2. And they gave her every chance. A muscle hill and a bar hopping. So that's a pretty concerning 0 for 2. But nevertheless, I spoke to the lady at the farm, and she said the last one was a little dirty. A little nasty bugger. And I don't know which one that was, the bar hopping on the muscle hill. She said, this guy's got a great attitude. He's always out playing. So I asked her, I said, what about the video? Because he looks off. Looks lame. She goes, Anthony, we had his OCDs out. no big deal. We had his OCDs out, and then the day before they came to video, we pull him out of the stall, and he's lame. He's crippled. He's lame. She goes, I call the vet. I'm upset, and the vet comes out, x-rays the entire leg. The entire leg. And there's nothing wrong. So they put the testers on the foot, and the horse reacts badly. So clearly an abscess in the horse's foot. Now, as you can imagine, this horse is about to go into the catalog as a Ridgeling. Now, the other thing was, she said the vet, when her vet was there, she said she could feel the testicle in the canal. Now, I still haven't got clarification on this. This is a kind of a gray area. If it's in the canal, you can geld the horse easily. I just want to ask Mario if this is Rosie. Is that Rosie? Jesus Christ, she's big. I'll show you guys a picture of her, a video of her in a second. She's huge. Those of you who thought, what are we turning her out for? That's what we turned her out for. Jesus, she's big. Anyway, she said the veterinarian could feel the testicle in the canal. So, in my mind, you don't have to send it to the university. This horse can get gelded like a normal horse, according to her veterinarian, which makes him a colt, not a Ridgeling, I believe. But nevertheless, the sales company called him a Ridgeling. So fine, Ridgeling it is. All I see is value, spelt Ridgeling. So the sales company said he was a Ridgeling. They posted the OCDs that were out on the horse. When you look at the video, the horse is lame. So when I talked to the lady, she said, the horse was, he was sore. She goes, if you look towards the end of the video, the horse starts to sound up. He was really lame the day before. Blacksmith came out. We tried to get that abscess out. We couldn't get it completely out, but he was better towards the end of the video. She said, Anthony, the horse is 100% sound now. I have all the x-rays from everywhere on that side of his body. There's nothing wrong with him. Okay. So you have a video of the lame horse who's listed as Ridgeling, who's actually sound and may not be Ridgeling. It's pretty hard not, from my standpoint, it's pretty hard not to be interested in that horse. The value you're going to get there is significant. Here, I'll show you Rosie's masterpiece. Those of you out there, Joel and you guys out there that want to see Rosie's masterpiece. Now, you may not have seen her in scale when she was training down as a 2-year-old, but you'll be able to see her right now. That's Duke Dio right there, who's a pretty decent-sized colt. There's Rosie's masterpiece. Looks good, eh? Oh. That's a big girl. So, I was going to show you Warwi Yuri also. Is he still out here? Yeah, he's over there. So nothing but a dreamer. It's pretty hard not to like that story. You see the muscle masses going for anywhere between 47 and 125 yesterday, and I wasn't going to pay any of that. Well, first off, we were kind of on a budget, right? Secondly, I just didn't want to pay $45,000. I certainly wasn't going to pay $45,000 for that video for that horse. But if you're going to give me him at 21, I thought I had him at 13. And even if the farm ran him up, I don't blame you. The horse is worth a lot more than that. So we're always looking for value. We're always looking for a way in, as I call it, and a way to save some money. As I spoke to the farm, the horse stands good. He's 100% sound. He may not be a Ridgeling, and even if he is, it's an easy fix. We'll castrate him right away. I'll have Chris or Angelica look at him here. Actually, now that I say it out loud, maybe what I'll do is I'll just leave him there and ask their vet to geld the horse. That's exactly what I'll do. I'm going to call them back. So, all check marks. We got value. We got a deal on a horse that may or may not be a Ridgeling, that is not lame, and showed lame in his video. If I'm them, I just ask the videographer to come back, right? And maybe they can't. Maybe that's the only day they could do it. Maybe this person is burnt out doing videos. But man, oh man, I can't help but think everybody that looked at that video right away said the horse is lame. He's lame. How do you get behind that? And there has to be a story behind that horse. There was. And hopefully we exploited that story. So I think we got a really, really nice, good-looking very well put together muscle mass colt out of an extremely strong family. Yes, you can say he's 0 for 2 with a muscle hill and a bar hopping, and you'd be fair. You'd be right to say that. But there's more to it than that, and definitely with us, it's certainly not 2 strikes and you're out, that's for sure. A lot of our better horses that we've had have been a little weak on the top end, but that family underneath inevitably and hopefully bubbles through, and that is what we ended up with. So very happy with Nothing But a Dreamer. Who is this horse? My God, that Erie horse, a nice horse. Who's that one? Who?
My 1%.
Oh, my 1%. Looks good too. Happy with all these horses. So next is Nothing But a Dreamer is going to go up for sale today. There's going to be shares left, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. There were some clients over the last 10 days that jumped in and bought some of those buckets, bought into them, and some yesterday after a purchase of Nothing But a Dreamer. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. The rest of those shares will go up for sale. To those of you in Ontario or want to buy Ontario breds, we have 6 quality horses in those buckets, and I hope you all reach out and purchase those shares. It's very important, obviously, for me, for us moving forward. I'm going to keep up with this line of dialogue where I want to get everything sold out, or as much as I can, heading into Harrisburg, so that we can do our business properly. And I've been very happy. I truly appreciate the participation from everybody and all the help, making this easily the best season, the best sales season I've been through, the best year I've been through, and many thanks to you. So next, Nothing But Credit. We talked with the buckets. I want to get them sold out and cleaned up. What about Captain in the Air? I had a number of people reach out and buy shares of him yesterday. It shows 8 or 9 shares available. There is 25 available at the back end. Now, there was somebody that reached out and wanted to buy those shares, asked me to hold on to them, and I'll continue to for a couple of days. It sounds like they have their own little group on the side. That they're trying to get to have consensus to buy those shares, and that's fine. I'll give them a little more time, but at the end of the day, I don't want to wait long. And there is the other one I want to talk about. Landing Strip. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys Landing Strip. There's 9 shares available. Landing Strip, there should be 0. There should have been 0. There should have been 0 shares available in this colt. The second he walked out of the ring, and we put him up for sale. There should not be any shares left in Landing Strip. I don't really care. There's no argument to be made. I know on Facebook we went back and forth with people that said maybe that was fair market value. Maybe it is. Maybe it was fair market value. That horse should be sold out. I'm going to bring you him when he comes back around with Mike in just a second. This is the Tactical Landing brother to Pinkman, and I'm Pink too. Day 1 purchase number 87 in the catalog in Lexington. There's no faults with this colt. There's nothing wrong with this colt. He looks beautiful, and there should be no shares available of this colt, so I am going to push him. They should be sold out by day's end. If you're out there and you're saying, I don't know which one to buy, I like this one, that's your horse right there. If you don't mind New Jersey, you don't mind getting licensed, yes, it's a pain in the butt, but then again, we have 3 Point Blue Chip, who's a New Jersey bred, and aside from the Breeders' Crown, never would have stepped foot in the state of New Jersey other than the Breeders' Crown. So there's that. So Landing Strip, obviously, I believe I'm going to give you a video of him here in a second. He should be sold out. Merchant Man, another horse. This is, I'll use the name Merchandiser, although Merchandiser didn't do a whole lot on the track, and I don't really know if he's a stud, so to speak, but he is Grace's father, and he has thrown some other horses also. The whole family, though, is good. But what I like about them is, say what you want, both Bob and Greg are very good judges of Pedigree, as far as I'm concerned. Very good. And they picked Merchandiser. They stood him stud. So obviously they liked a lot of what they saw in that family. And Merchant Man is a very, very good looking horse. Another horse with a few shares left. Clean those up. They shouldn't be on there. The horse should be sold out. Magical Tom. Eventually what's going to happen is you are going to wake up sometime in the near future and there's going to be 0 shares left because I'm just simply going to buy them all. I didn't get any of the shares I wanted this year simply because there was such an aggressive push for shares in Ohio. I woke up the day after the sale and realized, as the owner of the company, I had very few shares. I didn't get any of my shares I wanted in any of the horses. So, if you're going to force my hand, I'm going to take them. As I said, that colt in particular, Magical Tom, was a colt that I had priced a lot higher. Now here, we'll switch back and forth. That is what landing strip looks like. There's a nice colt, 4 or 5 days into breaking him. Look at his ears up, look at the gait on him. He's just so effortless in his motion. Just a really, really nice horse. I liked everything from the time I saw him. You know, I would have spoke more about him heading into the sale, but the simple reality was, I thought, in my mind, whether you think I'm right or not, I thought Lexington day one, good-looking colt. Now, it proved in the long run that the tactical landings did run a little bit light. I had this colt priced at 80 or 90,000. He went for 57. So at that point, when I started bidding on him, I got in at 42. So the bidding had slowed to the point where somebody had a 40 bid, very much like Alarm Detector's sister, horn player. The bidding stopped at 40. I was like, that's way too light for this horse. I get in at 42, back and forth. I might have jumped out once or twice more. Ended at 55, and then I made one more bid at 57, and I got him. Just a really, really nice horse. I like everything about that colt. He is a very, very good-looking horse. So, switching back to Magical Tom, there's a horse that, very similar. There's a horse that I had priced at, I think, 47 to 50,000, and we bought him for 15 or 18,000. Of all the horses we purchased in Ohio, he was the biggest gap between what I thought he would bring and what we actually paid for him. Of all the horses we purchased, none of them were purchased what I would call more frugally than Magical Tom. So whether it's you believe, hey, there's 55 shares there, there's no rush, I'll get some later, you are going to wake up at some point when I get all the sales sorted out, and then I say, okay, Anthony, you have this little bit left. You have a little bit left that you can maybe use. What do you want to do with it? I will buy shares or all of Magical Tom. To me, I talked to Lauren and Joe and all those guys that go with Magical Tom over there. They say he's a nice horse. He does everything right. Trot's great. For those of you who don't want Magical Tom, if you're out there and you're an Ohio client, you're saying, geez, I hope Anthony picks something up in Harrisburg. How can I? Clean up Real Fear with me if you'd like, and clean up Magical Tom. Then we'll talk Ohio. Then we'll talk Harrisburg. Oh, I'm going to do another video of the tactical landing colt when he comes back around. Mike's got him trotting pretty good there now. So, landing strip, Merchant Man, Magical Tom. Now we'll get to the last two. Real Fear. We talked about Real Fear. Here's a colt that looks great on the track. Very decent pedigree. I get it. I know what you're saying, Anthony. Down by the Seaside is the only place to be in Ohio. He can't win every race. And if he does, great. There's going to be a lot of tears shed over Down by the Seaside this year. Think of all the horses that went for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200,000. All those horses and all that money spent. The vast majority of people that own Down by the Seasides are going to take a bath this year. It's not his fault. Great sire. But there's only so many races to win, right? You pay 80, 70,000, 150, 140,000 for all these Down by the Seasides. Eventually, somebody's going to look at the start of the year and say, I have the 7th best Down by the Seaside, and I paid 130,000 for him. That sucks. That's a tough one. But I can tell you one thing. We have a $14,000 Fear the Dragon who looks good, moves good, and is happy on the track. We already got a head start as far as the Fear the Dragons go. But for $14,000, he doesn't have to be anything other than competent, other than an athlete, which he already looks like he is. He just has to be present, right? Between the Buckeye, the Ferrers, and the Sire Stakes, he just has to go out and do his work. That's it. And I think he will. So, Real Fear. Again, let's go through it quickly again. I'm going to talk with the Buckets, the Ontario Buckets, Nothing But a Dreamer. I suspect all our Ontario clients will clean those up. Captain in the Air. On our way to cleaning him up, keep it going, because this horse is a good-looking horse. You're not buying a Captain Treacherous with any type of pedigree for less than, what, $30,000, $40,000? Maybe more. We did. Yes, he's not as strong as, he doesn't have world champion pedigree, but he looks real, real good out on the track, and I love everything about Captain in the Air. I'm just trying to get a look. Is he going off the track? Looks like he is. Oh, okay. Landing strip, just exiting the track right now. Again, I shouldn't have to make the argument for landing strip. I'm not even going to talk anymore about him. The share should not be present. There. Merchant Man looks great on the track again. Very strong family. Everything looks good about this colt. When you look at the Father Patricks, they all actually ran hot, where we thought they wouldn't. We thought we'd get a discount with them. There's no discounts on Father Patrick's given out for the most part, other than Steve's horse and a couple other ones. Merchant Man is exactly what I thought he would bring. I'm not going to drone on about how I thought he would bring so much more money, and we got him discounted. We didn't. That's exactly what I thought he'd bring. But I wanted him. And to be very honest, there was, when Steve ended up buying, here's Gandalf the Black with the hobbles on. I'm going to give you a little video of him in a minute. When Steve ended up buying the Muscle Hill filly off me after day 2, and a lot of people said, why did you sell him? Because I wanted 2 horses. I wanted 2 PA breds in the entire day 2. 2, that's it, or 3. Day 3, I mean. Carter, Michael Dio, and Merchant Man. Those were my 2 picks for the sale, and I told Steve, if I buy those 2 horses, I'm going to need a little cap space. I'm going to need a little room. I'll sell you. I'll give you the ticket for the Muscle Hill filly. And that's exactly what I did. It wasn't we'll see how the day goes. I had 2 horses on my list that were PA breds. Merchant Man and Carter Michael Deal. Both of them. Carter's sold out. Merchant Man has a few shares left. I suspect they'll be gone, but you should get them. It's a good looking colt. Talked about Magical Tom in length. I'm telling you, you're just going to wake up and they're going to be gone. You're like, hey, where'd they go? And I'm not giving you any back. None. I'm going to keep them all myself. You're going to make me do that. So, Illinois. For those of you out there in Illinois or want to race in Illinois or think the program's going to have some money, there's not a real deep group of horses there. I'd like to be involved in a stake horse that could do some damage. I love all 3 of them. A Rosita's Dream sold out right away. That was my top pick in Illinois. But GJ's ATM and the Twin Cedars All-Star are 2 very, very nice colts that do their work really, really nice on the track. Now, I would like to finish paying for those horses. The Rosita horse is paid for. The other 2 colts have about 70 shares left. So I'll make a proposition to anybody out there. I'd like to form a little partnership for these 2 horses. GJ's ATM, Credit Fashion horse, and Twin Cedars All-Star, the Lou's Legacy. He was the leading sire in Illinois the last 3 years or so. I'd like to form a partnership and buy those shares up. I'll be a part of it. I want to be a part of the Illinois scene also. I want to keep our foot in the door there. But I would like to form a partnership and buy those shares up. There's about 140 shares left. So if you're out there and you want to maybe buy those shares with me, I'll make your proposal, and I'd like to clean them up as quickly as possible. So that's what's going on right now at the stable. For those of you worried about ridgelings and worried about time off and how they look, let me just end this video with a little look at our boy Gandalf the Black. This horse was purchased at the Winback sale. He was castrated via operation. He was broke, started jogging, and now has the hobbles on. Mario has him gated. The horse looks fantastic on the track. There's Dookie. There's Gandalf. Gandalf looks absolutely awesome. There's a horse that had the hobbles on like 3 days. So, for those of you out there worried about castrations and ridgelings and everything else, all I see is value. The horse looks like $1 million. Very, very happy with the way Gandalf looks. Again, touching on some things. Just going to open up the book here for one last little run. The buckets in Ontario, I'd like to see them start to get cleaned up by our Ontario clients. Any remaining shares will go up for sale, I believe, this afternoon. Nothing But a Dreamer, the newest horse to enter the stable.ca. And the horses I want to have cleaned up, and I would appreciate it if they get cleaned up by this weekend. Captain in the Air, for sure. Landing Strip, for sure. Merchant Man, for sure. Magical Tom. I'm only going to issue so many warnings on Magical Tom. You guys are missing the boat on this colt. Real Fear. Might be a real affordable way to get into the pacing scene in Ohio. I don't know what it'd be like, but all he has to do is function to be a useful horse. And if he's more, great. That would be great. And then obviously, as I said, I am actively searching for partners in the Illinois group. We have 140 some shares to clean up on GJ's ATM and Twin Cedars All-Star. Both of those colts look really nice. I brought you a quick video of Twin Cedars All-Star the other day. Both these colts are going really, really well, and I would like to clean those shares up quickly. So reach out to me if you have any interest in any of those horses. Most of them would be up for sale today. I can't think of any reason not to be interested in anything I said this morning. So I will talk to you all very, very soon. I'm going to head down now. It is not going to rain, it appears. I'm going to head down and jog a few of the horses that are still need a little polishing, and get them all done up. I think we have to train somebody today too. We have to train somebody down there that's racing this weekend. And then that's it for me today. But for me, an old Gandalf. I'll give you another look at Gandalf here as I pull away. For me and Gandalf and everybody at the stable, I hope you had a great day. I hope you continue to have a great weekend. Good luck to the Perfect Record group, the Don't Believe Me Just Watch group, and everybody else racing today and this weekend. Take care.